Originally released on the Wii U way back in 2013, Super Mario 3D World was released on Switch in early 2021. Along with this release came a variety of changes, including faster movement for every character, a skip cutscene option, and more. As of recording this, the world record for any percent is just under 90 minutes, after being in the 130s and higher since release on Wii U. With the popularity of the Switch, more people than ever are starting to run this game. Maybe someday, it will become as popular as many of the other 3D Mario games. In this video, we'll be going over a series of strategies to get started in speedrunning Super Mario 3D World. Welcome to A Beginner's Guide, Super Mario 3D World, any percent. This wouldn't be a Mario game without the basic movement of walk, run, and jump. 3D World adds a lot of intricacies to this with various different jumps and power-ups that runners make use of to beat the game as fast as possible. Something special to 3D World is character-specific traits. Luigi here can jump higher and slides more than other characters. Peach has the slowest run speed in the game, but also has the ability to float for a short time by holding jump. Meanwhile, Toad has the shortest jump, but his run speed is unmatched. Mario, the star of the game, he has an M on his hat. Sorry Mario, you aren't needed for this category. The cat suit is arguably the most useful power-up in 3D World. While in use, characters gain a boost to their run speed, the ability to climb walls, as well as an attack in the cat swipe. Swipe is a basic attack on the ground, but in the air has the additional benefit of stalling and conserving momentum. In addition, while in the air, characters are able to do a dive. By letting go of dive and jumping right when touching the ground, a large amount of speed can be gained. This will be important later. The cursor is something unique to Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on Switch. By pressing the R button, you're able to bring up an on-screen cursor and control it using the Switch controller's gyro. By pressing R again while it is out, you're able to click on various things in the world. This click is one of the most powerful tools in the speedrun, as it allows you to activate question mark blocks, hold enemies in place, such as the green star bunny seen here, and also pick up coins, including green coins used for a number of stars. By pressing a jump button immediately on landing from a ground pound, every character is able to do a fairly high ground pound jump. This jump height is the same for all characters, and can be very useful as a quick option for gaining a lot of height. New to 3D World on Switch is the roll. By pressing the run button while crouched, characters perform a roll, and by pressing jump during a roll, they get a roll jump. Roll jumps are a great way to build speed used for more advanced techniques. This may seem silly to discuss, but since most of the run should be done with a catsuit, it's worth mentioning. One thing the catsuit allows is to climb the flagpole at the end of each level. However, it is notably faster over the entire run to not do this. In order to not climb the flagpole, runners let go of the control stick as soon as they grab on. If they're able to naturally grab the top of the flagpole, however, without climbing, that is also acceptable. Here's a quick comparison of each scenario side by side. In any percent runs at least, Ice Clutch can only be used in 3-1, but since it's so easy to do, let's take a quick look anyway. By pressing the crash button repeatedly on ice, characters build up speed very quickly and are able to use this to jump over large gaps and save a decent amount of time. Riding the line between beginner and advanced techniques is vectoring. Characters only lose speed in the air. In addition, characters gain more speed when traveling at diagonals than in cardinal directions. By jumping in alternating diagonals on each landing, characters are able to build up speed continuously over long stretches. This is difficult to apply everywhere, but should be the first thing runners try to work in as they begin to improve their times. Peach has the unique ability of being able to float. The interesting part of this is that since you do not lose speed while in the air, Peach is able to maintain speed that she builds for extended periods of time and can skip large areas because of it. Many of these skips would classify as more advanced strategies, but it's still possible to make use of them as a beginner. For Super Mario 3D World, any percent begins as soon as the character is selected at the start, and ends as soon as the flagpole score appears on screen in 8 Castle. The route chosen to get there has a few options, but in general, the image currently on screen is the ideal path to take, including what stars are needed on the way. After looking at the route, there are a couple spots that may stand out, between 1-2 and 2-1, and the level 4-2 warp. Like in 2D Mario games, 3D World has 2 warps in particular that allow runners to skip half a dozen levels. Since the locations of these warps may be unknown to beginners, let's take a quick look at where they are in 1.2 and 4.2. When just starting out, you're bound to lose your catsuit. As such, it would be a good idea to have a few spots for backups throughout the run. Here are a handful that are easy and consistent to pick up when you need them. Mystery boxes like the one in 4.2 are another option. However, with the one in 4.2 in particular, using the cursor and tapping the mystery box as soon as your character lands when exiting the pipe will always yield a catsuit. This timing is very useful, especially for World 4. Some stars in the route may be inconsistent for runners first starting out, and applying strategies to go fast. Because of that, there are a few backups to keep in mind later on. The most common stars to miss are likely in 3-7, 4-1, or 7 Castle. Thankfully, there are some extra stars in 5-1 and 8-1 in particular that are fairly easy to pick up and don't take much time. At this point, it's time to take a look at various levels with unique and interesting strategies to save time. Each of the following levels shown can save anywhere from 20 seconds to minutes by doing them efficiently. 3-7 is a very Peach-centered level. While it can be done with other characters, Peach makes a lot of things shown here very easy. Up until the checkpoint, most of the execution here is just fast movement using float momentum. After the checkpoint though, things start getting interesting. We start by jumping off the conveyor and landing below to grab the second star without interacting with the sting bees or going behind the waterfall as intended. The third star is where things can get scary for beginners. In the clip shown, Peach rides a conveyor right until it's about to turn, then does a run, float, turn, and dive. This exact sequence is very precise, but eventually, it is just muscle memory for 80% runners. If done perfectly, that's one less star needed to beat the game. When first seeing this level, most people may be disappointed in yet another auto-scroller. However, 3 Castle in particular has one major difference. By using a Tanuki suit, or very good cap momentum, runners can jump between the 2 trains and force the auto-scrolling camera to move forward. This is done either 3 or 5 times depending on comfort and saves an incredible amount of time over following the camera like normal. Most of 4-1 is fairly straightforward. Luigi is used here because he's able to easily make the required jumps while also being fast, however Peach could be used as well. The interesting part here is the third star. Normally, players would have to ride on one of the giant ants all the way through the final segment. But with a well-timed slide, full jump, cat swipe to maintain height for a moment, and a dive, Luigi's able to grab the third star and start climbing the wall. At this point, Luigi just damage boosts along the last stretch of spikes and finishes the level much faster than the intended way. 6-1 is a level all about clear pipes and warp boxes. Every fast strategy here is about avoiding both of those things as much as possible. The most interesting part here is the final pipe sequence at the end. Using Peach, the goal is to collect all 5 key coins without ever entering the pipe. If done well, this can be a fairly good time save. even done sloppily, can save a few seconds over waiting for the fuzzies inside the pipe maze. Similar in concept to 6-1, 6-2 is really just about skipping boxes. 2 boxes in particular. The first box right here at the beginning, and then this second box shortly after. Prince Bully is a very simple mini-boss. Just a few roll jumps into his big head and he's done, much faster than using the cursor or power-ups. Big Boulder can be a big problem for runs. The key here is to use the first 3 boulders spawned in order to defeat the giant stone monster. If any of these smaller boulders are destroyed, the runner has to wait for more to be spawned to deal the finishing blow. This is done mostly with the cursor. Try and position one boulder near an edge away from danger, and carry a second one around after dealing the first blow. If it all works out, Big Boulder should go down fairly quickly. The 7 Castle Bowser fight is one of the longest segments of the game casually, but for speedrunners, should be very straightforward. Using the cursor, keep the hand right around the back tire of Bowser's car, making sure it doesn't go away by continually clicking with the R button. Be sure to crouch walk as slow as possible to keep Bowser from resetting his fireball cycles. Then, when Bowser pulls out a soccer ball, it's time to flick the cursor up and to the left, just as Bowser's throwing to send the ball right back into space. Do this 3 times and the fight is over. 8-7 can be quite scary for new runners, as a death here can lose a full minute, but with practice, most of this level doesn't even need to be played in any percent runs. First, by ground pounding on the Grumblump, they'll move through the level faster than usual. Second, at this next Grumblump, we see Luigi use a combination of his jump height and cap momentum to get to the pillar the first star is on, and similar to skip the last bit of lava and make his way to safe land. Finally, using a Tanuki suit, picked up in 8-7, Luigi is able to use his speed and jump height to propel himself off this sliding Grumblump all the way to the final parts of the level, saving significant amounts of time. Final level. It's here. 8 Castle, commonly referred to as Meowser, is a large climb to the top of a skyscraper. Almost looks like New Donk City before that was a thing. No stars to collect here in any percent, just run to the end. Say one last hello or goodbye to Captain Toad and we're off. This first part though, it's just an auto-scroller, so let's fast forward past it. Now for the second part of the climb, by positioning Toad right in the middle of the second window and climbing with the occasional jump, Toad magically appears at the top of the tower as the camera races to catch up with the Speed Demon. Similarly, runners can force the camera ahead here a couple more times, once at the bottom of the spiral staircase, and once more at the top if they are willing to run up a staircase with no railings. Four hits to the big power block at the end. Not 3, and Bowser is done. A few unskippable cutscenes later and the run ends. This does take a while. Be sure to say hi to the Sprixies at the end. Timer stopping right now as the numbers appear on screen. That was Super Mario 3D World Any %, mostly. There is a lot more to learn in the specifics of each world, but for that, it can be best to just take a look at what runners are doing. On screen here is a list of runners on Twitch that are pretty good at 3D World, and do stream it fairly often. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, like the video, and leave a comment if you'd like to see any other games explained in this format, or even if you just have other feedback in general. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, and I'll see you around for the next beginner's guide to speedrunning. Until then, everyone.